Renfrew's a nice town, isn't it?
It's lovely.
When you see it.
Intergenerational is all about people learning from each other, so not only do young people know quite a lot about today, residents bring a lot to the plate about how things used to be, and they've got a lot to talk about their experiences, how things have changed over the years. But again, they love to chat to younger people. It makes them feel younger, I think.
I think it's interesting because it was a fun project to do, and I haven't really done something like this before.
I could see how valuable it is to have the older generation, the younger generation together, sparking off and encouraging one another. Yeah, it's been positive.
Well, I'm getting connection, getting diversity, and getting a challenge. I'm meeting new people. You're not just working with a bit of paper, working off a brief, you're actually meeting people, you're getting hands in, you know what you're doing, you're sitting in a community of people. It's great.
Hopefully, if it's not getting used, then it'll look better than what it is. It'll bring something new to the kind of community, and it'll just make it look so much better.
It's very exciting for students to get their work acknowledged and to get their work out there to a wider audience.
There's a lot of history in Renfrew, and it's there to be rediscovered, I suppose.
Stalled Spaces Scotland aims to bring vacant and derelict land back into temporary use. Renfrewshire Council was awarded £20,000 from Architecture and Design Scotland to distribute to community groups throughout Renfrewshire. Communities can do a variety of things on these vacant pieces of land. For example, growing a community garden, undertaking a clean-up, environmental work, creating a piece of artwork or a live music event.
Renfrew Development Trust is well placed to take a lead on this project because we are a formally constituted organisation made up of members of the community of Renfrew. In the course of this partnership working, we talked to officers from Renfrewshire Council and engaged Renfrewshire really to investigate the opportunities for the Trust to be involved in physical regeneration projects within the town. The disused toilets are located at the entrance to Robertson Park, which is one of the key assets in Renfrew. The toilets are currently closed to the public, they're run down, and this has created an eyesore. This is a small building, giving us an ideal opportunity to create a temporary installation. This allows the Trust to demonstrate their commitment to improving the environment in Renfrew.
I think definitely having the Trust already there, you've already got a structure in place, membership in place, which really helps you to decide when you're coming to maintaining and managing projects of this nature. I think Stalled Spaces is aimed at the entire community. Anyone can be involved. Any type of activity can take place on a derelict piece of land. We're hoping that by the community leading this, there'll be a sense of ownership taken around the space through maintaining the space and building and improving upon it. So really, Stalled Spaces is all about the community.
We'll just get it going.
The residents living within Renfrew Care Home have been involved in watching footage shown by Richard Weeks. The footage is from various different things that went on within Renfrew area from the 1930s onwards, which was really interesting and spurred a lot of conversations.
We brought along some young people from the YMCA in Renfrew, and they joined in with the older people and had a conversation about some of their memories and places they like to visit within Renfrew.
I guess what I was hoping was that the older people could talk to the younger people and to give them a sense of why they should be proud and why they should be confident and I suppose in some ways happy to be living in a really in a really interesting area.
I think it obviously teaches let's say the young kids know what Renfrew was like, older times, and I think it's just a really good interaction, I'm my granddad anyway, and I'm always telling them stories, they're always asking me questions, and it's good fun to make up a lot of lies sometimes, because I'm always getting asked questions about the war, which I wasn't in, but yeah, I enjoyed that, because the kids seem to be interested,
Well, I'd say that they've really grown in confidence, and they're also getting to know a lot more about their community. Mingling with the older generation as well is really good for them because they're getting to learn about parts about Renfrew that they didn't really know before.
We just went to the old folks home and talked to them about what Renfrew used to be like and how it's changed. and what they think, is it good, if it's good or bad.
It was interesting to watch the movie and what Renfrew was like a few years ago, because it was part of their life as well. You might see something in the movie and they'll be like, oh, I remember that, and they remember these places and what they were like and they were describing it. I'll look at the photos and I will see a bit of a difference, but I'll know it's that spot and it's that place.
What I found with the old films is that they seem to be really powerful, both with older people who can reminisce and remember the good old days, as it were, and for young people, they can also see lots of really, I suppose, amazing things that perhaps have been lost. Highland Games in Renfrew, I mean, that's pretty amazing, that the Renfrew ferry was such a large and such a big crossing, a big boat, a fantastic blue boat chugging across the Clyde, and that the town was really busy with industry and people, and that there were trams, and that in Robertson Park there was a bandstand and there were boats on the pond. What the young people have been saying was like, well, why can't it be like this again? You know, these things would be great to have.
I've never really worked in a group, an intergenerational group, until today. Usually it's quite separate. I work with young children in schools and I work in my reminiscence session with older people. I think it's been very positive.
You know, with my mum, there's maybe sometimes she remembers better than other times. But it's been great because there's a common link there that is something you can actually talk about and learn, and you know, it's something they can actually kind of talk about freely, you know, as well, about their childhood, you know, and it's things that they do remember. So it's been excellent.
Some of the residents tell us about their history, but to see it and to see the look in their face, and for them to recall who they are, it was an absolutely fantastic experience for me. I couldn't watch the footage I was just too busy looking at the residents at some points.
Oh look, it's raining, that's a surprise.
That's right.
For me, that was a really nice personal touch, especially seeing some of the residents in the footage. And one of the residents actually kind of hid her face, and it was almost as if she went back to being 20 years old again. And another lady was saying, oh, I was there, and it was just absolutely fantastic. That sort of stuff you can't buy.
The young people from the YMCA then went along to different town centre locations, such as the town hall, the ferry, and different places to take photographs and selfies.
Selfie!
Which they then presented to students from West College, Scotland, to create a design project which will be presented up on the walls of the toilets.
This work is a fusion of work by the YMCA youth and by the care home, who actually talked about the memories of Renfrewshire and how that could be captured.
We went to the park and we taken some photos, and then when we met the students, we got it printed out and we decided for the board and what photos to use in the design and the patterns.
It was quite interesting learning how to use it, and inspiring. Like, our images were put into the photos and we got saying what it's going to look like, which was really good.
I take the young people and older people's images and ideas and what they've compiled so far, and what I do is I start to rearrange their photographs in a certain way that's attractive to the public, as well as just people in general, designers, artists, anybody that's looking at Renfrew or knows Renfrew will be able to look at this board and say, oh, that's fantastic, it's brilliant, it's great.
We had to kind of interpret the best way to display the photos, how they would best looked at, the best way to see them. So we had to take inspiration from other kind of graphics and things, so kind of doing a wee bit of research from like books and things that we've already picked up, and also off the internet, and then just kind of playing about with different fonts and things, trying to get a basic layout.
The images, the photographs that we've had to work with let us know what the kids are trying to portray in this board, so it instantly gives us like a visual of what this board has got to look like. It's going to be colourful, it's going to be nice, it's going to be attractive. People have got to look at it and go, that's brilliant, basically.
It is a bit nerve-wracking because usually you've just got the one kind of lecturer to kind of please and she'll mark it all and things like that, but you've kind of got obviously another 2 or 3 people that have got to be like, right, no, we need this or we need that, so it's kind of bit more pressure, but again, it's exciting. It's kind of getting more people's feedback, so it's even better. You get to see different folks' views, especially with like the young people, because they are a wee bit younger than us, so they'll have different outlooks. They'll maybe like something that's different, and obviously it's kind of based more for them, so it kind of needs to be something that works for the two.
I was very proud of our students who actually gave up their time and their skills and their knowledge to add to this project. They were showing all the skills that we hope that we're actually embedding in these students of being confident young people who can go out there and work in the industry.
It was interesting. It was very fun learning some things. It was very factual, and it was very different from other projects I've done.
Well, let's the community see that they're wanting to make a difference to their community. They're not all like tracky bottoms and hoodies and stuff like that. They're not bad people. And it's a shame that they get this sort of perception of other people, but it is really good that they're wanting to make a difference in the community that they stay in.
I think the work on the site is fantastic. It just showed the collaboration between all of the parties involved. Everybody volunteered, all of these students gave their time up, gave their skills, contributed in every way and worked incredibly well together. That in itself is a result, let alone the fantastic artwork that's coming out of it.
One of the great ideas behind sort of stalled spaces, I think, is in some ways trying to look at how do we reinvest these places with a sense of civic sort of pride and civic identity. One of the things, you know, that's good about showing films is that, particularly old films, is that it gives you a main line into that sense of what this town once was like, and in some ways what this town could be again.
There are strong parallels between the objectives of the Stalled Spaces Initiative and those of Renfrew Development Trust. Both aim to work in partnership with local groups to improve the look and feel of a neighbourhood. They aim to regenerate it culturally, physically and socially, and they bring together different sections of the community to bring about real improvements to the environment, and most of all to have fun in doing so.
The college is always working with our community. We are part of the community. The students come from the community. Something like that is the young people giving back to the area that they come from and enriching it with some artwork.
It'd be really great if in some ways the community can take control of the story of both these films, but also how they want to see their town progressing.
I think it's a brilliant thing that we have the opportunity to do that, and that it's making the generations closer.
Being at the care home and listening to what the older generation had to say, I learned a lot. It was really good.
It's a good thing to remind people what it was like.
I walk through the town now and I can remember things as where I'm looking at the past. You know, I can remember what used to be there and who used to be in it, and the butcher, the baker, you know, the fishmonger. Things have changed, and maybe it's time I change with them.
I think it gives them ownership of their own memories and a bit more self-esteem, and we learn a lot from these sessions. It's not a one-way process, it's a two-way process.
To be part of this project and to see how Renfrew used to be and what the young people think about it, and to do comparisons, and really to develop the area as well, to make it better. It's been fantastic that the residents have had a chance to be part of that.